Hey, a very, very, very good evening, guys. Saturday, 6th August, Safarnaama, favorite show. क्या खास है इस favorite show के बारे में? खास ये है that this is the only show where we have a candid talk on business, on entrepreneur's journey, on how a particular business owner struggled, उनके milestones क्या थे, वो कहाँ से कहाँ तक पहुंचे, और एक 25 मिनट में हम आपको उनका एक पूरा जितना जितना उनका सफरनामा हम सुन सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं, महसूस कर सकते हैं, that is what we'll be able to get it here for you live. मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट बात, ये अनस्क्रिप्टेड है. मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट बात, इसमें कुछ हमारे स्पीकर को या हमारे गेस्ट को कोई कोई भी आइडिया नहीं है कि हम उनसे क्या सवाल पूछने वाले हैं. एंड जो वो कभी कभी होता है ना, थिंग्स विच आर देयर इन योर हार्ट, and that's when your heart speaks, your mind speaks, is something which is so truthful and so pure. Yeah. So a very warm welcome to our Safarnama series, an entrepreneur's journey. Asking my co-host to just dive in here.
Hi Manisha. Hi everyone. Good evening, and welcome back to Safarnaama. We are very excited today because we have a very special guest today. So, without wasting much time, let me get her on. And here she is. Hi Kiran.
Yeah, hi Manisha, hi Salil, always a pleasure.
Great,
Hi.
great, great. How are you?
All fantastic. Thank you so much,
Great,
and hoping both of
great.
you are fantastic as usual too.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Cool. So we have this, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us had read the caption, classic example of beauty with brains. And this is what I call Kiran Shetty. She is the founder of Eloquent, the language school. So, Kiran, I know, मुझे पता है, in fact, both Salil and me know, कि, 25 minutes is going to be very, 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 very small for, for you to cover your journey. But, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, okay, the first thing that comes to mind, what has been your ambition in life?
So the last part I have lost you. You'll have to repeat only what has been के बाद मुझे सुनाई नहीं दिया.
Your ambition in life. What has been your ambition in
Oh
life?
yeah, my ambition in life. Well, I must ask myself that again because I was when we were brought up, being ambitious was always with a negative connotation. Okay,
Right, right.
and it was never positive to be ambitious, especially for a girl growing up in a very traditional South Indian society, okay, or a home. Uh, ऐसे भी मैंने काफी ऐसी कुछ चीजें की है जो you can I was constituted the black sheep of the family, like जो
Oh, dear.
भूतों ने भविष्य थे सब बहुत कुछ किया.
Huh.
But ambition life, if you ask me now in the current context, is to
Yeah.
leave behind something that will benefit others rather than like it's not
Wow.
now remained about me. It's
Hmm.
about transitioning. It's about giving. If you
Wow.
Wow.
currently that is the ambition.
Wow. Wow.
So, what is Eloquent, the language school? Can you brief our viewers about that?
Yeah, first and foremost, when Eloquent has been, how do I say, a trial and error process for me, I've
Hmm.
always, I was always having a side hustle happening.
Huh.
And at that point of time, it was a basic need for that thing to happen. Okay, there was no other agenda, but I was always very creative with a lot of ways. Much before Karan Johar discovered a summer school, मैंने वो कर दिया था. ओके, और तभी कुछ कुछ रिलीज हो चुकी थी. एंड एज आई वाज इन चेंबूर एंड स्टारस्ट्रक, सो देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ हाइप एंड आई मुझे उसका बहुत बेनिफिट हुआ. तो आई यूज्ड टू हैव अ समर हॉबी क्लास for
Right.
students, and I did always have some a penchant for languages, so that was always there happening. But when Eloquent happened, it happened because I did not want to join back any job once I returned from my how do I say, a learning journey from
Hmm.
2005 to 2007. It turned my life 360 degree, बोलो 180 बोलो ऊपर नीचे. It's like you sit in that merry-go-round ride और आप पूरे झंझोड़ के बाहर आते हो.
हाँ
2005 to 2007 मेरे लाइफ में वो भूचाल आ गया था, और उस भूचाल दो किरण की वजह से आया था. एक है
हाँ
किरण
हाँ
पटेल, द ओनर, फाउंडर, डायरेक्टर ऑफ SN कंसागरा, राजकोट.
हाँ
And the other
हाँ
Kiran is Kiranveer Sethi, जो probably people know him because of his our billiard champion star. These two Kirans forever changed the way I looked at education. मुझे लगता था मुझे सब कुछ आता है, या एटलीस्ट बहुत कुछ आता है,
हम्म
सब कुछ नहीं.
हम्म
But
हम्म
I was reformed. I didn't want to ever go back to classroom teaching as the way I perceived it before
हम्म
that. एंड
हम्म
फिर कोई चारा ही नहीं था, फिर तो आई हैड टू डू इट, बिकॉज जो मैं कर रही हूँ वो सिलेबसेस को मद्देनजर रखते हुए कभी नहीं हो सकता.
हम्म
So that is why we formed this journey,
eloquent.
whereas focused on English being more as a uh, yeah, as a medium to learn other things. It was not the thing. And as a
Hmm.
side
Hmm.
thing, because I was always doing something or other, I certified my students with Trinity, who
Hmm.
very strangely I came in contact with them purely because I needed help to train them to train my teachers at Rajkot. And
Mhm.
वो तो नहीं हुआ, but I got
Mhm.
inducted as an examiner, and they say the rest is history. It's been a
Mhm.
lovely 12 and 13-year-old association. That is in a nutshell, Manisha. That's why Eloquent is more, when I say a language school, the reason I term the and very believe that it's a school is because we don't teach English and limit ourselves to the language core component. वो तो करते ही हैं,
Hmm.
बहुत बहुत कुछ करते हैं.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, बहुत like we take trips. We used to, rather, before the pandemic cured us of our gallivantry, we would
Hmm.
take trips. We would go trekking. We would have live sessions if we are trekking in the Nasik region, or I was taking them to the Money Museum. So language was not taught as a worksheet.
Hmm.
It was taught as a real experience and the context in which आप क्या use कर रहे हो. And I'm
Hmm.
very proud to say that जिनको तभी पढ़ाया था वो अभी मेरे साथ चल रहे हैं,
हाँ.
and are also partner in my business.
Very nice.
Yes.
So
Yes. So
Yes.
actually, no, no,
let
Salil,
me
Salil,
ask you
Salil,
one
no,
more
no,
thing.
no, no,
No, no, no,
no,
no,
no, no, no,
Manisha, one
no.
second. So when did this love for the language happen in your life? Like, when did
Yeah.
you realize that this is what you want to do? This is your
You
calling, that
choroed
you
my
want to make.
question, Salil. You choroed my question. It's
It's
not
okay.
fair.
It's okay.
Okay. Are you talking in context of teaching, or you're talking about being an entrepreneur with education?
Both. See, I want to know, when did this spark for English happen in your life? Like, when did you feel that, okay, you want to take this forward, maybe as a career?
There's a lovely side story. It was a fight with my dad and his refusal to allow me to study the subject of my choice, where he
Uh-huh.
pompously, not like he was dad, so he could tell me कि अगर तू ये करेगी तो मैं तेरी फीस नहीं भरूंगा. And it was
हाँ.
just said in the flow of that moment.
Right.
हाँ. हाँ.
And वो हमारा हर्ट हो गया थी, ईगो इतना बुरी
Huh.
तरह से. तो I तो ग्रीन्स नर्सरी
हाँ.
1985,
हाँ.
I
Wow.
responded to an ad. It was run by Mr. Gala, a very senior Kutchi gentleman. उनका business नहीं था, उनकी terrace थी वो था. I went. It was specifically mentioned convent educated assistant teacher. हमारे
Mhm.
पास प्योर साउथ इंडियन बहुत रिस्पेक्टेबल स्कूल का तभी नॉर्थ बॉम्बे और अभी अब्दुल कलाम का सर्टिफिकेट था. So
Mhm.
I think I got, I don't know if it was their adrenaline rush or whether it was something to prove, but I felt right at home with those toddlers who were crying their lungs out. मुझे
हाँ.
बिल्कुल ही ऐसा नहीं लगा कि मैं कुछ
हाँ.
गलत कर रही हूँ या मुझे the like my job was more of an ayah and a babysitter इधर पकड़ के, rather than actually teaching. I loved it. I loved it. And there was no turning back. I worked with them till my last year of graduation when the practicals, because I was a clinical psychology student, was not allowed
Mhm.
by my college. फिर उसके बाद मैंने जब वो छोड़ा तो अदर एंड ऑफ द स्पेक्ट्रम जंप किया मैंने. जहाँ
Hmm.
पर बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइमिंग्स आई चोज टू टीच प्राइवेट एसएससी एंड एचएससी, जहाँ पर अभी कुछ और है, लेकिन वहाँ पर जहाँ पर खाओ गली में हम लोग सब घाटकोपर में सैंडविच खाते हैं, उसके ऊपर एक नवजीवन क्लासेस हुआ करते थे। वहाँ पर मैं बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइमिंग द प्राइवेट 11th and 12th स्टूडेंट्स, and believe me, at that
Okay.
point of time I was like 1/4 of the size, so you can imagine it was all bluster, nothing else.
हाँ हाँ.
Bluster and
Wow.
also see, this is where I say it is your confidence is more than like content. अगर तभी आप मुझे content analyze करते बोलते तो शायद नहीं होता, but मुझे आता
हाँ
था, and
हाँ
I could transfer the goods to the other person effectively.
हाँ
हाँ.
हाँ.
Good.
तो वही कहूंगी, क्योंकि उनको पढ़ना नहीं था, मुझे भी पढ़ाना नहीं था, मुझे सिर्फ वो पॉकेट मनी चाहिए था कि फीस बढ़ जाए. But
हाँ
I'm
Correct.
हाँ.
glad
Correct.
it's my same dad when he saw that passion in me. It was
Hmm.
his push and his care that made me study further. Because I would like to say my dad, who dad as a sales head of Hindustan Ferrado at that time, फिर Hindustan Composites बना, पता नहीं क्या कुछ है भी नहीं है, whatever. He always used to spend his Saturdays going to Parel workshop teaching हमारे जो मतलब शेट्टीज के hotels के जो boys होते हैं ना, जो
हाँ
like
हाँ हाँ.
वो उनको free classes वो पढ़ाते थे उनको, ताकि वो तुम लोग like, so my father is known as Shetty Master, and when he died there were so many people who came to see the Shetty Master because their life changed because of my dad and his
Right.
Wow.
seva to educate them.
Wow.
So ये
Wow.
मेरे लिए वो शायद genetic है.
Correct. Maybe which is why there is
He
that
always
spark where which
prioritized
is
education.
why.
And वो रहेगा because it is genetic and it is like ट्रांसफर. अगर आपके पास कोई एडवांटेज है तो आपको उसको शेयर करना, ये उनका मेरा सबसे बड़ा टेक अवे है.
Hmm. 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 So
Awesome.
okay, Salil, now may I ask, please?
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. So Kiran, it was, like the way you said that you started off, you started off in this way, but it would have been so easy कि अगर आप किसी established setup में, you would have continued doing your bit, and because वो stable था, वो secure था. आप and फिर भी आपका objective, you were also, your objective also was being taken care of. So where did that thing, where did that कीड़ा come कि नहीं, मुझे खुद का कुछ शुरू करना है, रिस्क लेना है, उस हर हर स्टेबल इनकम को लिटरली लात मार के बाहर फेंकना है, एंड देन वांट टू स्टार्ट समथिंग ऑन माय ओन. सो व्हाट वाज दैट ट्रिगर?
हाँ. So first and foremost, money was never the calling card. अगर वो होता तो there were a lot of places I worked for almost a decade when I was getting paid literally peanuts. Okay, I spent the best prime decade plus, but that gave me so much of learning, and I really, it was always that high nasha tha. God, it is a big nasha. And the other part was also I I could see myself impacting people. Okay, by that time, see, I started my journey at 16. So by the time लोग traditionally enter करते हैं field में, okay, वो 25 के आसपास वो अपनी करियर, 23, 24, 25 के पास वो शुरू करते अपनी करियर. तब तक मैं पुराना चावल हो गई थी. I was already like done there, हो चुका था. So by the time I was 37 and when I came back from Rajkot, I was saying ये तो मैंने कर लिया, 20 साल पढ़ा लिया यार, 20 साल मैंने काम किया है, and I worked with everything.
Correct.
And because I had a lot of exposure, like as you said, the Kira is the right word. I have major Kira. And the risk taking सिर्फ मेरे में आया. I don't know कहाँ से आया. My dad was a very staid person who chose job over hotels. My brothers are very staid, or like my late brother and my current brother, they're very staid. Job, नौकरी, security. पर मेरे में कीड़ा है. शायद some other ancestor, कीड़ा बहुत जोर का है. तो ऐसा नहीं है. And again, it has always been a calculated risk. वो जोरदार है. If you are starting a startup journey at the age of 54, आप सोच लो कितना सुलेमानी कीड़ा है.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, because so see, the fact that so of course, I chanced upon meeting you is only because of IWBC, Indian Women's Business Club. But वहाँ पे भी when I
Of
had heard
course.
about you, when I heard about you and when you used to talk, I'm like, okay, she's trying to make a mark in something जहाँ पे, the 25s or the 30-year-olds are, establishing themselves. And then how is she going to differentiate and how is she going to, मतलब उनका आगे का roadmap क्या होगा? And the only one
Hmm.
time where I think obviously it was the Athena meeting. The one time when I heard you and I heard the passion that you had to change, the way education is perceived or the way academics is perceived, out here, is where I was like, wow, no wonder वो पूरा 20-25 साल जो भी आपने बोया था वो सब बाहर आ रहा है. That is where I was able to see that that passion coming in. So
और वो
इसी
करते
से
रहेगा
ही
मनीषा, आई विल कीप ऑन रीडिस्कवरिंग माई सेल्फ दैट वे.
really. So in fact इसी से
सॉरी
ही
आई
next question
कट
है.
यू इन, बट लाइक
No, that's okay.
हाँ,
That's perfectly fine.
बोलिए
So
सॉरी.
actually, that's where the next question is. How difficult or easy was it for you to, when you saw your fellow peers, when you saw people, in the same industry, who were either doing what the whole world is doing, जहाँ पे हम सिर्फ इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज सिखा रहे हैं या पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट में इंग्लिश स्पोकन इंग्लिश सिखा रहे हैं. So then
या
how did
वट
you
एवर,
how
वट
did you
एवर.
see yourself?
सो
Whatever that they were doing. So how did you see yourself? How did you differentiate?
first and foremost, let's break my journey into components where I've been with traditional schools and colleges as a guest lecturer. I'm continuing with the same thing. And then there
Uh-huh.
is this facet of private education where इंडिया अपना एक ही ऐसा कंट्री है जहां पर हमें प्रैक्टिसिंग लाइसेंस नहीं लगता एजुकेशन में. ओके,
Huh. Huh.
लाइक I can be an educator on declaration, on self declaration. Okay. मैं
Hmm.
so now what has happened, there are good facets and bad facets because you see, एक बात है, आप pedagogy सिखा सकते हो,
Hmm.
आप empathy नहीं सिखा सकते. Okay.
True.
So ये transitions है बहुत सारे, like like for me again I'll tell you, the chair and the titles अगर कभी जरूरत होती तो by God's kind grace I would have
Hmm.
also been I would have easily done that. That was the simplest thing
Right.
to do.
Right.
But I never thought that way. And ensuring that there is financial security at the domestic front to my baby, मतलब अभी नहीं, वो
Hmm.
बेबी अभी 30 साल का है तो बेबी बोलना मना है. तो anyway वे शादीशुदा बेबी को बेबी नहीं बोलते. So that is it. So as long as my son is provided for, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं था कि मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, कोई पूछने वाला भी नहीं था. माय
Hmm.
फैमिली डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड मी, आई एम स्टिल एन एनिग्मा, बट कोई रोड़ा नहीं लगा था.
Huh.
एंड अगेन देन आई एम अ बुल, फिर हम लोग खूटा गाड़ देते हैं, तो एक वो पंगे भी कोई नहीं लेते. सो तो वो बात अलग है. सो दैट्स अनदर थिंग, बट द फैक्ट
Hmm.
इज because of my eclectic exposure to the world, the performance arts, traveling the मतलब like a stays country, आप एक 30-35 का ग्रुप लेके बच्चों का घूमते परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट्स में, आपको बहुत कुछ
Hmm.
सिखाता है. ओके.
Hmm.
एंड
Hmm.
उसके बाद भी आप क्लासरूम में आप जो एज ग्रुप के साथ डील करते हो, 3 to लाइक, मैं ऐसे ही नहीं बोल रही हूँ, मैं मेरे ओल्डेस्ट स्टूडेंट्स सब उनके 80s में, इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ ग्रैंड मदर्स. सो दिस आर मैं,
Hmm.
ये मैंने बाद में बाय द वे सारी. सो हम कहते हैं ना कि रेट्रोस्पेक्ट में विजन हमेशा 2020 होती है. ये सारा ज्ञान
Hmm.
अभी बहुत रिसेंट है. So
Hmm.
I've had a lot of self doubt. So in that self doubt, even I have tried to clutch at straws. Okay.
Hmm.
And I have tried to, but I never look at my missteps as my errors because now I'm
Hmm.
back stronger and clearer about मुझे क्या करना है. See,
Hmm.
because सक्सेस हमेशा क्या होता है, हम लोग दूसरे के सक्सेसेस को अपने आप से कंपेयर करके बोलते हैं फलाना इतना कमा रहा है, फलाने की पोजीशन है, उसके पास इतने सारे अवार्ड्स हैं.
Hmm. Hmm.
है मेरे पास भी. हाँ ठीक है, वो सोशल मीडिया पर नहीं डालते हैं, बट दैट्स अबाउट इट, दैट्स द ओनली डिफरेंस. और मेरे लिए काफी है मेरे पास. और, और मेरे पास क्या है ना, that I say, I don't know. There is a lovely book by Robin Sharma, Who Will Cry When You Die.
Hmm,
Okay,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
so मैं at this moment very फकर के साथ कहती हूँ, काफी लोग रोएंगे. That's
huh,
Yeah.
all. And that is not family.
huh,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is not family. So what I
right.
Hmm.
meant was that for me has become important right now. Okay, right now. Again मैं बोलती हूँ ये सारा
Hmm.
ज्ञान बहुत लेट आया लाइफ में. काश
हाँ,
10 साल पहले आता या 20 साल पहले आता, बट नहीं आया. कोई बात नहीं.
hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
देर आए दुरुस्त है. Great. So you have
देर आए
been
दुरुस्त आए. Anytime,
uh,
anytime.
you have been teaching to each age group. So I heard in your journey that you started your this thing with kindergarten. I also know that you've been a guest lecturer for management school, and you've been, I think, schools and colleges. So I mean, the entire this thing, in the education, this thing you've
Gamut,
done all all
gamut,
all all kinds of age groups and all kinds of,
all.
yeah. So where do you enjoy yourself the most? In what age
Mhm.
group or in
Everything,
what
every
everywhere?
single thing. I
Huh.
have this, this super movies that we see about, like हम लोगों ने, like when you see these super, you are like trying. I can morph myself into anything,
Hmm, hmm.
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
that is my advantage. There's a
Right.
lovely
Hmm.
book like Pula Deshpande had written a lesson. मेरे शायद मैंने 6th में या 7th में एक lesson था मेरा, और
Hmm,
उस lesson में ना एक this little girl and she opens her bag and everything. So I still remember that line that he says that मी मुलात मूल फुलात फूल या संप्रदायातला नाही आहे. Basically,
hmm,
I am that. I can
hmm,
be what you want
Hmm.
me to be.
hmm.
And
Because see,
I'm
it
not
is
saying it in a negative manner to please someone, but it is
right,
called as blending. And
right.
if I know that a language is something that is going to be a discomfort for my learner, I can easily, by God's grace, वो भी थोड़ा सा blessing है, I can transition to the language that is comfortable to the learner and
Hmm,
then come back to the language that I'm trying to teach.
right.
So ये भी
Hmm.
एक advantage है. And I think I would recommend all teachers to be a chill. I think I'm going to be technically wrong. I don't know, but I think we
Hmm.
can chill. Nobody's asked us to be the century man. Okay, and I really feel, again I'm going to be politically incorrect. And if you remove the stick from your ass, you'll understand the world is such a pleasant place and you can sit down much more comfortably, because nobody wants to look
Right.
at a teacher who's not smiling. Okay, and nobody wants to
Right.
remember a person. And that's why that reference ke who will cry, when people remember you, this is what I tell my trainees कि आपके आपको कोई भी याद करे, आपने उनको but they should never remember, especially your students, with regret and
Hmm,
this,
hmm. Ah,
so
ah.
it stays. Those scars, the emotional scars, stay with you. You think it's just a dialogue, or no,
Hmm,
it
hmm,
stays. You can scar someone for life. So we
hmm.
are
Right.
blessed power. We should recognize that power. And like Spider-Man, with great power comes great
In
responsibility. Use the
responsibility.
classroom time very effectively, whether you are a private. और वो कंटेंट आजकल ना, मनीषा और सलील याद रखिए, कंटेंट के लिए आजकल कोई नहीं. गूगल पापा बहुत अभी प्रख्यात भी हैं और बड़े फैले हुए हैं. कंटेंट के लिए बच्चे हमारे पास नहीं आते. ओके,
Right.
कंटेंट अगर मैं एक
Right.
क्लिक करूं तो दैट 12,000 पेजेस विल ओपन. They're coming for you for your technique and the transitions that you are going to make their life simpler by knowing the data that's there up there, simplifying the data for
Hmm.
them. So you
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
have to assert your authority in that 10 by 10 room at all. Agar zarurat, like,
Right.
there are
Right.
other ways to
Right.
control their minds. And that
Hmm.
Hmm.
could be with a smile or a raised eyebrow.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm. So, Kiran, you have a very, very different, radically
Approach.
different rather. Yeah, radically
हाँ,
different
तो
approach when it comes to, when
एस्ट्रोलॉजी
it
में
comes
बिलीव
to,
करते हो? एस्ट्रोलॉजी में बिलीव करते हो, मनीषा?
not really.
नहीं करते हो? Not really, ना. So I'll tell you one thing. So I have Rahu in the first house along with my son. So जो कोई यहाँ पर होंगे तो पता. That is why that कीड़ा. This will keep happening till I'm 85, 90, 100. कुछ नहीं होगा मेरा.
So, लेकिन आपको, I always know that, so see, even for me, I'm a teacher's daughter, and school में, so So say a few teachers had a very, जो आप कह रहे हो ना, chill, they were very chill.
Hmm.
They had a very, different, I mean, at least they were, for me as a student, chill was that, they were okay. I mean, as students, we could be their friends, that is the kind of rapport approach that was there. It was at ease and learning was never compromised. But there were also enough and more teachers who were, मतलब strictly against this kind of, उन्होंने इस पूरे way of learning को एक casual approach दे दिया था. That because it's casual,
Hmm.
so which is why, the quality of learning will really go down. So did you face resistance? Did you face, people telling you that, Kiran ma'am, आप करो लेकिन
So
आप
I'm
हमारे इस तरीके से करो और अपने तरीके से मत करो.
सो क्योंकि मैं एम्बिशियस नहीं थी और मुझे किसी कुर्सी का कोई मोह नहीं था, वो कभी
हाँ.
नौबत आई नहीं. Okay,
Wow.
one, that's point number one. Point number two, I was blessed to have a teacher as my first boss and official school वैसे तो थी
हाँ.
काफी, मैंने बोला
हाँ.
ना ऑड जॉब्स करते 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 हम कभी नर्सरी में पढ़ा रहे, कभी प्राइवेट, ऐसे करते करते हम जब एक्चुअल एक स्कूल में वेरी प्रेस्टिजियस, तो मेरी जो टीचर थी टीचर ट्रेनिंग कॉलेज में, जब उन्होंने मुझे
हम्म.
वहाँ पर एज अ when I was recruited and all, she allowed us that freedom within our domain
हम्म.
because she trusted us to do a job. One, we was
हम्म.
plus हम लोग बहुत, लेकिन जब मुझे कोई थर्ड पार्टी से वो थोड़ा प्रेशर फील हुआ तो हम तो उड़ गए. ओके, दैट्स वन थिंग. देन अगेन आई मेट समबडी हु इज, अगर मैं अपने आप को तोप मानती हूँ तो मैंने तो तुगलक से मिला. मॉडर्न डे तुगलक थे हमारे किरण सर. वो तो आईपैड वाईपैड की बात कर रहे थे 2005 में, ये
हाँ.
आईपैड के थ्रू
हाँ.
ही पढ़ाना है भाई तुमको, और जिसकी वजह से हमारे at that time he gave me the respect. लेकिन nobody recruits a 37-year-old unknown person from Mumbai and gives her the
हम्म.
reign of a team which is well experienced unless he's seen something in me. Okay, and
Absolutely.
allowed me a voice, allowed me a
हम्म.
voice in the decision making, allowed me to
हम्म.
make decisions.
हम्म.
So so I've been blessed, but at the same time coming back, see, एक जमाने में ऐसा था कि अगर टीचर स्ट्रिक्ट नहीं होती थी तो द हेड्स यूज्ड टू फील कि तुम बहुत टीचर्स बच्चों के साथ फ्रेंडली हो, डिसिप्लिन
हम्म.
कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो रही है. वन,
हम्म.
तो
हम्म.
काफी टीचर्स न चाहते हुए भी वेयर स्टॉइंग. एट द सेम
हम्म.
टाइम व्हेन यू थिंक टॉकिंग accountability is very important to a teacher
Right.
because you're responsible for 40 new और 50 जो भी आपका क्लास स्ट्रेंथ है. आपको पता है ना, टीचर एक ऐसी स्पीसीज है जो हमेशा
हम्म.
एक फ्रेश स्टॉक हर साल वो या तो मेक कर सकती है या तो ब्रेक कर सकती है. Okay,
Right.
so if you
Right.
do the math between your 35 years of service and you tasked your 37 classes you're taking in a week, and if you do the math, it is like, like when there are times when you say, what do I don't miss? Collecting money for छोटो छोटो donations, collecting आई कार्ड का पैसा, असेंबली की लाइन में खड़े रखो, असेंबली
हाँ.
ये सारी चीजें definitely नहीं. But what do I like see the warmth of these children. So
हम्म.
I'll go back to Salil at all points of time when a child is very young, whether वो आपका
हम्म.
स्टूडेंट हो ना हो, आप कभी रास्ते
हम्म.
पर भी एक यंग चाइल्ड के साथ स्माइल कर, he is the first person to smile back most of the times. Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
because if he's
Yeah.
brought up like that, so
Yeah.
that connect itself is because there is no coloring of the environment. So,
Right.
yes, it's been not easy, and whenever, as I said, it is all individual, and also the conviction of delivery. मेरा काम दिखता था, तो जब आपका काम दिखता है तो
Correct.
the rest
Completely.
is
हम्म.
okay.
So you are a multilingualist, right? I
Yeah.
know for sure that you
Yeah,
speak like
I would have
Yes.
to call myself that. I command
Yes.
थोड़े बहुत languages पर.
yeah. So how many is it? Like what is the count? Like 8, 10?
Well, how do I categorize? If I categorize them into speaking, listening, reading, writing, then 4 solid. Speaking, listening, only, then 8.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
That is
That's a lot.
that's a major advantage, right? I mean, being in Mumbai, I know for
Yeah,
sure
it
that
was
you
always an
you have
advantage.
you have
I
like
don't
great
understand
command over.
people who make it as a big problem.
Huh, huh.
Hmm.
You have great
Sorry, I'm
command over
sorry, Salil.
Marathi,
Yes, please.
Marathi, Marathi, Gujarati, I know for sure you speak
My
very, very fluently.
babysitter, my Brahman babysitter. I am a Shetty brought up by a Kograsta Brahman.
Acha.
उसका टच थोड़ी like so I can't even like there is no so I can be like I'm a pro Maharashtrian. I don't
Yes.
think so. The passion for the language, and by the way, my reading was heavy duty. Like Shriman Yogi, who reads in ninth standard and then has a debate about it. But
No,
that is
no.
my upbringing, and I'm
Right.
blessed. Like I'm more Maharashtrian than anybody can claim them to be, and I can hold this debate with anybody who claims to love the language, because I and there are a lot of times, when I'm extremely emotionally charged, I see a lot of Marathi coming out. So you can understand why it has become my language of passion. So, not because I'm staying in the state, by the way. Okay, not
Uh,
because I'm staying in the state,
right.
but this
Got
has
it.
Hmm.
Of
happened
course.
where because my very important years growing up was
Uh,
taken care of by Barbiana Maushi. And the way I was cared for is like a child. Like I was the only person जो polite थी घर पे तो शायद मेरे भाई के साथ बहुत my भाई two people were supposed to be with him and
uh,
केतन के साथ दो लोग रहते थे हमारी
uh,
सर्वेंट और एक रिलेटिव
uh,
और
Hmm.
हम काफी ओबीडियंट थे एक टाइम में तो दैट टाइम
Hmm.
I was looked after by her. That's it.
right.
That's the
Right.
only thing. But having said that, I'm going to use this 1 minute to talk about the adaptability. I shouldn't be an odd person in the grid,
Hmm.
Hmm.
honestly. This should be a norm for all Indians.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm.
Not, and
Hmm.
I'm not saying master all your dialects and everything. बट
Hmm.
Hmm.
आई स्ट्रांगली बिलीव कि जहाँ पर आप रहते हो वहां से अगर आपको लाइक इट्स सिंक नो लाइक आप सिंक हो जाते हो आप
Hmm.
रहते हो
Hmm.
दैट इज वन थिंग
Hmm.
सेकेंड थिंग इज लैंग्वेजेस आर मेंट टू ब्रिंग पीपल टुगेदर never to
Right.
separate
Hmm.
them and break them. So if we can
Wow.
Hmm.
use our multicultural, multilingual history and
Hmm.
our
Hmm.
like we all always be at our advantage.
Hmm.
हमको कोई
Hmm.
ज़रूरत नहीं
Hmm.
है आप as an English teacher I said we don't have to chase everybody's langot every time we have our own undies like so we can manage very well without and with English.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. So what is Kiran
That's
Shetty's
about it.
future
So
outlook?
that's how I see.
Yeah. Could you hear me?
कोई खास नहीं है पता नहीं चेंज भी हो जाएगा मनीषा आपके शो में मैंने कुछ बोला और अगर कल एक महीने के बाद वो आउटलुक चेंज हो गया तो यू शुड नॉट होल्ड मी अकाउंटेबल टू इट ओके बिकॉज ये होने वाला है my outlook will get modified, reformed, and will keep on model because, and that has kept me
Going.
agile mentally
Hmm.
and to a
Hmm.
large extent physically. Okay,
Hmm.
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
agility comes from that because
Hmm.
I don't have a problem about learning anything. मैं तो खुलेआम बोल देती हूँ, मुझे नहीं आता
Hmm.
सिखाओ
Hmm. Hmm.
so and I have done that.
Wow.
And like you can ask anybody who's worked with me in Rajkot कि मुझे power button कहाँ है लैपटॉप का या मेरे डेस्कटॉप का
Hmm.
मुझे पता नहीं था.
Hmm.
Sir had to give me
Hmm.
an assistant purely to do my basic thing, and he was so
Hmm.
flabbergasted कि तुझे ये चलाने नहीं आता. मैं
Hmm.
बोला तो बाकी
Hmm.
का आता है वो.
Hmm.
So I had that, and so, so I was like this, and I will remain like so. I've always learned, but now they were very proud that I can. अभी भी डरती हूँ electronics or gadgets से, but
Hmm.
they don't. I will still operate, and I will ask for help. I've learned one
Hmm.
thing is that when you ask for help, you receive it. So ask and you shall receive.
Oh yeah.
ये सही है.
Sure. Wow. Salil, concluding question from you?
So, what is that one thing that you would want to tell, anyone who's teaching English as a language or English as a way, like how you rightly said, language is for people to come together. It's for people to come closer and get them together. So, what is your advice to these teachers or educators about how they should be taking this forward or how they should be looking at this language?
First and foremost, don't try to teach it.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
One guru mantra could be that आप उनको एक तो सबसे पहले there is of course you norm of not like there is a theory about language acquisition versus language learning.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you get your input methods right, and your output will be obviously proper, just like it is with our mother tongue. So when you
Mm-hmm.
try to take a textbook and imagine, like right now we are in a session, and I suddenly whip out something in a language which is either foreign, in in a country wise foreign, or foreign to your understanding, and I suddenly make you write standing line, sleeping line, ये करो, फिर इसको ये बोलते हैं, फिर इसको पढ़ो, फिर उसको
Hmm.
आप बात नहीं करना, because being quiet in the classroom is an asset to our populous country. And then at
Hmm.
21 we want them to excellently speak in अरे तुझे बात करना नहीं आता. So like मैं तो ये बोल रही हूँ कि फिंगर ऑन योर लिप्स करके बेचारा बच्चा 3 साल से लेके 21 साल तक फिंगर ऑन योर लिप्स था. ओके,
Hmm.
पहले तुम
Hmm.
बोलते थे फिर बाद में. सो बेसिकली व्हाट आई रियली मीन इज व्हेन वी स्टॉप टीचिंग देम and work on they acquiring the language rather than just learning. I'm not telling to compromise on language grammar, which is an
Hmm.
obsession with our country. फिर भी हम सबसे भैया सेंटेंस कंस्ट्रक्शन करेंगे. सो ये सब
Hmm.
मैं कुछ भी नहीं बोल रही हूँ, मैं ये नहीं बोल रही हूँ.
Hmm.
बट
Hmm.
I feel the more you work, and another thing is, this is something, this is a theory again, that a language is an output, which is your expression of your
Right.
Mhm.
emotions. Okay, so
Hmm.
जिस
Hmm.
भाषा से आप emotionally connected, अभी मुझे गुस्से में मराठी क्यों आता है? Because मैं
हाँ.
emotionally
Hmm.
connected उस language से. Okay,
True.
Hmm.
True.
मुझे I will give chase to, like, it will all come out because I it is gone right inside me. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Right.
if you love the language, you will definitely get it. The school gets almost 18 years with every child to get it right.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay,
Wow.
that's why parents send the child to school. Okay, 18 साल
Hmm.
में आपका जो प्रोडक्ट है, अगर वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं है, कि एक इंटरव्यू भी पास नहीं कर सकता, so
Hmm.
it's not the problem with the person, it's the problem with this, with the process. I won't even say
Hmm.
system and yeah, wo nahi, it's not
Hmm.
individual,
Hmm.
it's the process that we to rework.
Hmm.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what we're trying to do. That's is I won't see again. So that is the new venture, and that is why we're trying to get a process. शायद हमें कुछ नहीं आता, या शायद ये concept challenge होगा, लेकिन I'll keep knocking at the door till some crevice opens.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. I think this has
Super.
been really, really fascinating, Kiran. Extremely fascinating because I feel, anyone who is ahead of, you are ahead of the learning curve. You are ahead of times. You are trying to create a change where people are still, sort of, वो एक conditioning होती है ना कि यही तरीका है और कोई तरीका है ही नहीं. When it comes to learning, when it comes to education, when it
Because it's
comes to
comfort zone.
academics.
It's comfort zone.
True. ट्रू
Hmm.
ट्रू एंड जैसे आपने कहा ना आई थिंक हम इतने हमारी कंडीशनिंग इतनी हो गई है वी नो लॉन्गर आस्क इफ कि जैसे आपने कहा अगर हमको 3 से 21 साल तक फिंगर ऑन योर लिप्स कहा गया था तो सडनली हाउ 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 डू आई टॉक हाउ डू आई कम्युनिकेट हाउ डू आई एक्सप्रेस हाउ डू आई इमोट सो आई मीन I had told Salil that having a conversation with her maybe it will have to be one, two, three, four, five, six Safarnamas because there's always going to be a different aspect,
आपने
when it
चढ़ा
comes
दिया
from
मेरा
Kiran
भाई
Shetty.
ओके. I
No,
love,
but great.
and I'm blessed that I've allowed myself to learn. See, again, allowing uh, light to enter, वो आपके ऊपर है. Unintended.
हाँ. किरण आने दो. The ray
I
of
know,
light.
Kiran, aane do. But great, great, great. Thank you, Kiran.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Kiran,
much,
for being
Manisha
a
and Salil.
yeah.
And
Thank you, thank you. It was a joyful experience,
Yes,
talking to you
yes,
and getting to learn so many, nuggets of wisdom, and you say it so easily. I mean, the
yeah.
it's so fluid the way that you say it. I mean, there is so much to learn. So it was an absolute
thank you so
pleasure
much.
and honor to have you here, and we had a great time, and I hope people who will be viewing this will also have a great time because 40 minutes. I think we started off
Yeah.
with an intention of 25, but 40 is
25.
something that happened, and we didn't even come to know where the time's really gone. So
Yes.
thank you
Yes.
so much for
Thank
this,
you.
and
Thank you.
It's been an equal pleasure. Thank you so much,
Great.
Manisha and
Great.
Salil. Always very interesting and talking to both of you. Thank you so much.
bye bye
Wow.
Bye.
bye
So,
bye.
so this is, yeah. So this is for our viewers. I know that, there could be a lot of you guys who will be watching us late or watching us later or whenever that you have the time. सफरनामा का essence ही ये है. There is, it's not that I have to be a celebrity in order to come onto a talk show. It's not that, अगर मैंने, like the way Kiran said, मैंने इतने awards हासिल कर लिए हैं या मैंने एक paid, एक paid show में आई हूँ. That's not the essence. The essence is to get every goddamn entrepreneur onto our show and let them talk about what is it that moved them, what is it, उनका जो एक कीड़ा था, जो एक trigger था, हर एक के लिए
Suleimani,
क्या था. Yes.
not just
सुलेमानी कीड़ा.
Suleimani.
Thank you, people. Thank you
thanks,
so
thanks.
much. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you.